Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to see what is interface and how it is implemented in multiple inheritance. So we will see about the multiple inheritance later, but we will now go through how this interface is implemented and what are these interfaces. Okay, the basic definition that you have to learn about interface is an abstract type that it used to specify a behavior that class must implement. So in previous session, we might have seen about the abstract, how abstract is used and how it is coded, right? If you haven't gone through that video, just just click on the top right link that you are seeing now. So why I'm talking about this abstract is it has a close relationship with interface. So both look similar. Okay, in abstract you will have an abstract methods, and in the same way in interface also you will have an abstract methods. So in abstract class you will have an abstract methods which are just declared. That means they don't have any definition. The same way in interface also you will just declare that methods and you will not have any definition. Okay, so let's see a few points about inherit interface. Interface will have methods and variables as class have. So however how you have a classes and methods in a class, in same way interface also will have methods and variables. And method defines in interface are abstract, that is they are just declared and not implemented. So declaration means you are just defining a function and closing with a semicolon, and you will not have any implementation part there. That's how these abstract methods are there in interface. And the next thing is variables defined in interface are by default public, static, final because if you have to implement this interface and if you have to access those variables, definitely you should have a public, static, public variables, right? If you declare it as private or protected, these variables cannot be accessed outside. So if you want more clarity on what is this public, private, protected, this access modifiers, you can watch the video which you are just seeing on the top right link. Okay, and coming to next point, you can contain more than one interfaces in one class. You can have more than one interfaces. And one thing you have to remember is interfaces cannot implement an interface. Interface should be implemented by a class. Okay, and one interface can extend other class. That's what you have to remember. And why do we use this interface? If you want to just declare and methods, you know about the requirements, but you don't know how it functions, right? So in that case you can just declare a method and you can implement it later. And then interface are implemented by a class. That's already I said. And next thing, a class that implements an interface must implement all methods. So if you declare four methods in interface, you have to implement all that four methods using this class, right? And the syntax goes like this. The two important keywords you have to remember while implementing interfaces: one is a keyword interface and other one is implements. So we will see how to use this implements keyword in an example. Okay, now let me switch to Eclipse and let me create a class and show you an example. Okay, so I already have a package oops examples. So let me create an interface. I'll say interface example. Okay, now I'll create an interface. I'll call it as my interface. Okay, and now as I said you, they should be method should be as a public. Okay, variables or method should be as a public, because if you declare it as private or protected, they cannot be accessed in the class. So that's the reason you have to make it as public. I'll call it as public. I'll create two methods: public void add of int a comma int b. This is one method, and I'll create one more method: public void subtraction int a comma int b. Okay, so this is called a declaration. If you see, I have not written any implementation part of addition or subtraction using these two methods. I just declared it, right? Now what I am going to do is I'm going to create one more class I'll call it as actual. Okay, I'll say implements. Okay, implements my interface. Okay, now I'm going to implement this interface. So I'll call it, I'll implement these methods. So let me void add int a comma int b. Now I'll have my definition here. Okay, I'll call it as int c is equal to a plus b, and I'll print it addition of a and b is, I'll call it as c. Okay, okay, let me give this class name as interface example only, so that the main class will be implemented. And now I'll give public static. Okay, if you observe here, I'm just writing some println. I'll say interface example. If you observe here, it throws an error. What it says, add implemented methods. So we have written one method add int public void add, and we have one more method and we haven't added any definition to that, right? So that's why it is throwing a error message, add unimplemented methods. That's what we discussed here. Methods, you have to implement all the methods that are defined, right? If yeah, see this line, a class that implements an interface must implement all the methods of that interface. So how many methods we have here? Two methods, but I have only definition for one method. So just simply click on this, it will try to add the other part. Okay, now you have the other definition as well. Let me paste this main at the end. Now you have a subtraction method as well. Now you can implement it. So how do you implement that? Just take one variable int c is equal to b minus a and print, and I'll print some dummy text, call it as c. Right, now we have all implementations ready. We have declared two methods in an interface, and we have implemented two methods in the class, right? And I have a main method. Now I'm going to create an object of this class interface example obj is equal to new interface example of. Okay, once I have my object ready, now I need to call my methods, these methods, right? So how do I call that? Object obj dot. If I say obj dot, it gives me two variables and you can directly call that. Okay, just click on this, and it is asking for two numbers since it has two arguments. So I am going to give 10 comma 20, right? Now I am going to call one more method, subtraction. I will say obj dot sub. Okay, and I'll give 30 minus 10. Okay, and when I run this, initially this method should be executed additional. I have given 10 20, so the output should be 30. And here I have given okay, first let's give a small number here, 10, because it's performing b minus a, right? If you observe here, we are doing b minus a, so that means this should be greater, 30 minus 10, and the output should be 20. So when I run this program, it should print me addition of a and b is c and subtraction c. It should print me these two print statements. Okay, let me run this program. You can see the output here. Okay, C is sorry. See, we have written a wrong statement here. We have given int C is equal to A is equal to B. That's a mistake. I'm giving plus here and running it again. Yeah. Now, if you observe the output, it has printed the interface example, and addition of a plus b is obviously 30, 10 plus 20, and then subtraction is 20, 30 minus 10 is 20. So the overall idea behind this is you have created an interface and you have declared two methods here, and you have created a class which is implementing the interface, and then you are writing the definition, you are writing the actual implementation code of these two methods in this implemented class. Okay, and using the main method you are calling these things, right? So that's how this interface works. Interface is nothing but it's a full abstraction. Remember the term a full abstraction. Full abstraction means you are abstracting everything here. You are not giving any code here. All the methods which you declare should be abstracted, and you have to implement in a class. That's the overall idea of this interface. So when you come to multiple inheritance, you will see you will see more example of this interface concept. There we will be seeing one interface extending another interface, like we have seen abstract class, right? I just wanted to switch to abstract also and show you the difference between this interface and abstract. If you see here, abstract class we have, and we have declared one abstract method using an abstract keyword, and then later we have one more abstract class which is extending this other abstract class. So in the same way, one interface can extend an other interface as well, that we will see in going further in multiple inheritance concepts. But overall, why this session is brought next to abstractness, it is closely related. These two concepts are closely related, so that you can do a comparison of what are these two concepts. That the reason this interface concept is brought next to the abstract class. So if you haven't watched this abstract, what is this abstract class and how abstract methods work, just click on the top right link which you are seeing, so that you can gain some knowledge on abstract. So that's all for today, and just I'll copy paste the description of this interface and the example also in the description box. You can just do a practice. If you have any comments, just let me know. I'll try to reply to your comments. Thank you and have a nice day.